I've been involved in real estate for more than 50 years, but the last 30 years, I specialized in that little narrow niche called tax lien certificates and tax defaulted property. Now, let me tell you why I did.
Hey, thanks for joining us. My name is Randy. This is Ted Thomas. And listen, if you're at this video, you want to learn about investing in real estate, and you're going to have the opportunity to do that from America's Tax Deed Authority. And that's what TED is. Ted, you've been doing this for about 30 years. You've been involved with real estate and particularly like tax deeds, even tax liens, and different subjects. But could you talk about real estate investing?
What I decided a number of years ago is I decided to narrowcast quite a bit. So there's a lot of beauties in real estate. Now, if you want to talk about commercial buildings, think about that. All those insurance companies have their name on those buildings for a reason. They want to buy those buildings. Matter of fact, what they do is they dig the hole in the ground, they build a foundation, take years to build a building, fill it up, and then they use that to generate money forever. Then there's people that love apartment properties, and I'm not negative on apartment properties, but you know, the rents are always going up, people making money in that business. Then there's single family homes. I decided on a very narrow niche. The reason I chose it, it was so profitable, and a lot of people didn't know about it. So I'm just going to pick up, this is just a piece of paper, and this piece of paper, if I hold it in front of my face, that's the real estate business. Look how big it is. It's all the real estate. It's a huge business. But I found a niche where I could really learn, really get the details, and it's this little narrow niche right here, and that little narrow niche is called tax defaulted real estate. So over the past 30 years, I've been involved in real estate for more than 50 years, but the last 30 years, I specialized in that little narrow niche called tax lien certificates and tax defaulted property. Now, let me tell you why I did. I looked at that business and realized everybody else didn't want to learn it. So I'm going to learn it and become the expert. And I did that. And why did I do that? Because the profits are so generous. Now, if you're going to make generous profits, you're going to have to learn something. So this isn't one of those things. I'm reaching down from my holster and I pull my gun up and I'm shooting my 6-gun. This is not that business. This is the one you have to drill down and you learn about the business. But once you learn this, you can do it for the rest of your life. And everybody around you is going to say, how could I make 18 or 24% on a tax certificate? I never heard of them. Well, I'm here to tell you, tax certificates have been around for over 200 years. Other people say, Ted, I watched your video and you said that people bought a property for 20 cents on the dollar with no mortgage. Well, folks, my clients do that. There's 5,000 auctions every year. We get to do all these crazy things I'm telling you about. So this is a niche that you really ought to learn a little bit about.
Well, how do people learn more about it, Ted? I mean, how do they learn more about real estate and this particular niche you're talking about?
Well, they're doing the right thing now. You're watching some YouTube videos on it, so there's plenty of those to watch. So that's a good place to start. Once you decide that you're actually going to do something, then make the next step. Now, the next step with me, I'm not an internet marketer and give you away tons of stuff, but what I do is I give you in-depth stuff that you can drill down to. So what am I talking about? Twice a month, 2 times a month, I actually do a 6-hour class, and I bring my coaches in, and I bring my successful people, and we start at 11 in the morning, and we don't even stop until 5 o'clock. We're all eating lunch together, and we're having a root beer or whatever for our lunch, and I teach people from 11 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon, and we teach you all the nitty-gritties. We actually charge $47 for that. Now, if $47 is too much for you, this business is going to be too much. So just hold on to your $47 and don't think about this bit. But if you really want to learn it, you get 6 full hours. I've been doing that. I've been doing this for well over 30 years, and you can drill down and you'll learn more in that 6 hours than I did in my first 5 years in the business. This is really a business where you can make money. It's not a get rich quick. It's a simple business, but I've got to tell you ahead of time, you have to learn how to do it, and it takes some work.
Well, Ted, if you know, when you think about investing in real estate, I think of big numbers. Like, you need big numbers to get started. Can you, within this niche you're talking about, this tax deed, can you turn $10,000 into $100,000? I mean, what do you need to get started? What's the potential?
Okay, I don't want anybody to be impressed that you're going to be able to get rich quick on this. This is going to take a little time. But any number you pick, we can grow it. We can grow it rapidly. So, for example, in this business, what happens, there's 3,000 counties across the United States, they're all going to have defaulted properties they want to sell. We buy those properties. We teach people how to buy them. We teach you how to buy them. Well, if you can buy a property for 10 or 20 cents on the dollar and not try to sell it for 100 cents, you bought it for 20 cents, why don't you just sell it for 50 cents? Well, if you sell it for 50 cents and you make $10,000 or $20,000, you're going to be pretty darn happy. So the answer to the question is yes, you can take $10,000 and grow it to 20, to 30, to 50, and to $100,000. Now, can I make you rich by next Friday? If I said that, I might as well shoot myself because it would be less painful. You're not going to make money quickly in any part of real estate. This is a part of the real estate that's faster than most, but you need to learn how to do it. Now, could you just buy home study courses and do that? I don't recommend that. I tell people, look, learn a little bit from the YouTube videos. Then after that, attend a 6-hour class, small investment, $47. And then as you go through that, then you decide if you want to do more. You don't have to go out and go to a weekend seminar and spend $20,000 or $30,000 and pray that it's all going to work. You will be able to see people doing it and working at it. I never brag about that I go out and make a lot of money, but I show you my students that go out and make a lot of money. So yes, you can take $10,000 and make it into $100,000, and you can do it in a few short years. You're not going to do it by next Friday afternoon. I can assure you of that.
Well, can I assume that, based on what you said, that in terms of just real estate investing, that this particular niche into tax deeds, does it give an opportunity for people who don't have a whole lot of money to get started? More so than other types of investing in real estate?
Here's what the tax lien and deed business is all about. If you liked apartments, or you liked office buildings, you like small farms, small apartments, residential lots, this tax defaulted business includes all of that. Here's why. I don't know what's going to happen in people's lives. Some people have a home and they live in the home by themselves and then they pass away, but they don't have any relatives. What's going to happen to that home? Nobody's going to pay the tax. So I can tell you right now, the tax man's going to come. So it's going to get confiscated. It's going to go to the auction block. What if you could buy it for 20 cents on the dollar? Well, let's not just talk about homes. What if it was a small farm? Gee, there's a lot of money in land. I can tell you 25% of every tax auction list is land. What's wrong with land? Nothing wrong with that. Maybe you have land and you grow tomatoes on it, or you take the land and graze cattle on it. I mean, there's lots of things to do with land. Other people, they want a little apartment house because they go to a weekend seminar and say, get someone else to pay for your property, buy a little apartment house or buy a rental. All right. So this business of tax lien certificates and tax deeds covers all of that. Now, can I cover all of that on a short YouTube video? No, but I can tell you, I've owned as many as 1,800 apartments all at the same time. I've owned high-rise office buildings that were 12 and 14 stories high. You getting the idea?
Yeah.
All right. But I can tell you the simplest business that's got the most margin is the tax defaulted business. If I can buy for 20 cents on the dollar, sell it for 50 cents on the dollar, wow, I could do that in months. All right. Now, not by next Friday. Can't make it rich by next Friday. But what if we could make your first profit in 6 months or 9 months? Try that in other real estate. You won't happen. It can happen in this business every single year.
You know, I just want to remind everybody who's watching that if you have a question about real estate investment that you'd like to get an answer from America's tax authority, tax deed authority, that's Ted Thomas, leave it in the comment section below, because Ted does see these things and does make videos and answers, as many questions as possible. So please do that. Ted, there was something, you brought up the idea of the types of properties. It could be a physical building, it could be land. For somebody who's doing this for the first time with tax deed auctions, do you recommend either sticking to a physical property or to land, or does it matter?
First of all, everything I do involved in this business, my eye has a lens. My lens is I'm looking through a lens and saying, where can I make the most profit? I'm not buying property for long-term hold. So I'm looking at everything from the lens of a bargain hunter at a tax defaulted auction, okay? So what I want to do is I want to go to the auction. Now, when you go to an auction, you have to take what the auction is going to give you. So if you're in the middle of Nebraska, they're going to have a lot of pieces of land, okay? But if you're in an urban area just outside of Chicago or Dallas, they're probably going to have homes. They might have some small apartments. They might have some small farms. So you then look at it, then you go evaluate it, okay? And you do your due diligence. I won't talk about that now, but you do all those things before you buy. So try to look at the one that you think is the best buy. For example, if you know land is selling for $8,000 an acre, and suddenly you could buy this land for $1,000 an acre at the auction. Well, you might pick that. Another person might say, well, look, I can buy this house for 20 cents on the dollar. So you're going to have to evaluate what the auction is going to give you. Now, there's going to be so darn many auctions. It's going to be 5,000 auctions this year across the United States. Every one of them is a little bit different. So I've gone to auctions in upstate New York. They're big, beautiful colonial houses, but they're used and abused. And they got oak trees, big, beautiful, 75-year-old, and they're like estates, but they're all worn out. All right. Then I've gone to other little auctions right here in Florida. And there's a cute little house, 1,200 square feet, but it's right on the water. And so they're all different, and they all have a different flavor to them. They'll all have a different pricing to them. Now, other people, they know more about it. So they're saying, oh, Ted, I don't want to. I want to buy some land because I can grow strawberries on it. And my dad was a strawberry farmer. So there's everything is here. It's all encompassed in tax defaulted real estate. But every auction, all 5,000, every one of them will be different. You're never going to get the same auction 2 times in a row. Never.
Okay, Ted, you just mentioned there's 5,000 auctions. So here's the next question. How do I find these opportunities? How do I find a piece of property in any particular state?
Okay, that's easy. That's easy. All right. So you could come to us and we can have directories and so on of every county in the United States. Most people don't realize there's 3,000 plus counties in the United States. All 3,000 counties plus are authorized to give and conduct a tax defaulted auction. Now, that means they'll be on the county website, and that means they'll probably do like, let me get one right here. So coming up a couple of days from now is there's an auction brochure from Los Angeles County. It says right on here, County of Los Angeles Tax Collector, and this is the auction list.
Wow.
Wow. And matter of fact, if you go here in the last page and you look at it, there's over 1,000 properties at that auction. I said 1,000. So there'll be farms on there. There'll be apartments on there. There'll be single-family homes. There'll be everything you could ever conceive will be at that auction. So you could spend, this is 1,000 properties. You can spend the next 3 weeks just driving around looking at it. You can look at every property. They don't hide anything.
You know, Ted, you mentioned earlier about doing your due diligence, and you said we may get back to that later. Let's get back to that right now because, I mean, real estate investing, anything has a risk. So maybe just take us through the steps. Okay, you found an auction, and you're looking at the property list. Maybe take it from there and let us know what's the due diligence you should give something every step of the way.
Okay, well, this is Los Angeles, and I happen to know you're in Cleveland.
Yep.
All right, so you're sitting in Cleveland, so just stay right there because you can sit on your rusty dusty and do all the work. Does that sound good? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the county website, and we're going to find out where the auction list is. Step number 1. All right, let's look at the property. You say, wait a minute, Ted, I'm in Cleveland. Well, then you can hire a real estate broker, go on the phone book or go online, call a real estate. Can you go out and take some pictures? Well, sure, they'll go out and take a picture, especially if you tell them you might work with them on selling it. If you buy it, they want to sell stuff, right? All right, if you don't want to do that, then we have, I won't go into too serious matter here. You can go into the satellites, and I'm not talking about Google. I'm talking about the GIS mapping system. It's called the Geographical Information System. I don't want to get too complicated. It's up here above us. It's going around and around. Okay, so you can go onto that site, and you can say, I want to look at this house from 1,000 feet. So the satellite goes, 1,000 feet. You can see if they got a geranium on the front porch. You can see the pool. You can see whether they cut the grass. You can see the whole thing. And then you can see the whole street. You can do Google Maps. And you can go to then I can go to the records, the county records. Oh, it's got a big mortgage on it. But we know, you go to a tax auction, the county treasurer wipes out, cuts off, X's out the mortgage or the deed of trust. We know that. The other people don't know that. We know that because we're experts, right? So we know that. So that's the kind of due diligence. So you can find out everything. You can find out the guy's last name, his first name, his middle initial. You can find out everything you want to know about that property.
So
everything.
So Ted, so now this is real estate. Real estate always seems like a big thing because, you're getting property. Should you have a lawyer involved to check over all the paperwork along the way with you?
Oh my God. Oh, no. You don't need any attorneys. You don't need any brokers. You can learn every bit of this thing. You can learn yourself. Now, I'm not a real estate broker. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an investor. I started this whole thing as an investor. Now, can I go out and get licenses for all that stuff? Of course I could. Okay. You don't have to have any license from your state or any place else. Just become an investor. So what investors do, they do what you just said a minute ago. They do their due diligence. Folks, that just means, hey, wait a minute. I got the address. Why don't I check this property out? Like maybe walk on the property, boots on the ground. What would be wrong with that? Now, if it's in Cleveland, you do that. If it's, this one was L.A., so you got to get someone else with the boots on the ground. So what's wrong with that? You can do that. So nobody's going to say, now you don't go roaming around somebody's property. You stay on the sidewalk, but you get my point.
So Ted, let's say I've checked out a piece of property. I bid on it. I got it. What about strategies of maximizing the money I'm going to get selling it? Do you offer insights? Your courses offer insights on that? Because that's where the money gets made, right?
All right. Now you're talking about the sticky patch. This is a sticky patch. So you have to write in your notes. Sticky patch from 10. This is where you're going to get stuck. 99% of the people that buy property and want to sell it don't have a clue. They don't have a clue on how to sell a property. Okay, let me give you the straight stuff. First of all, you use media. What's media? Media is a for sale sign on the front lawn. That's where we start. Where do you go from there? For sale signs around the neighborhood. Where do you go from to the newspaper? Go to every real estate club. Now let's do like the pros do. Go online to the multiple listing service. Go to Craigslist. Go to the Facebook Marketplace. Go to Zillow. Go to Trulia. You getting the idea? You're going to go to every electronic site. You put your property, every one of those sites. Not one. Don't just call the MLS and put it on. Put it on every single market. What's going to happen? You're going to get calls from everybody. All the calls are coming from every different direction. Except we're not going to buy it low and sell it high. See, regular real estate courses, what do they teach you? Buy it low and sell it high, right? I don't teach you that. I say buy it low, sell it low. Let's get the money and get to the bank. I want to go to the bank. I'm buying them because I want to go to the bank. So I'm going to teach you what I know. I only know one thing. Buy it, sell it. I don't want to hold on to it.
Buy low, sell low. That's a unique, coming from real estate, usually it's always, sell high. That's a unique viewpoint, Ted. And obviously you've been pretty successful doing it. If somebody wants to take a course with you guys, what kind of investment is that for them?
What they should do is they shouldn't go out and spend a lot of money. They need to start small, just like anything. Don't go buy a $30,000 real estate course or a $25,000. I mean, some of these people selling courses cost a lot of money. All right. Make a judgment. Can you afford $47? If you're going to handle $47 twice a month, all day on a Saturday, starting at 11 in the morning, the Eastern Zone, to 5 o'clock, I conduct an event. I call that event a workshop. Okay, I'm on the event. I bring my coaches to the event, I bring my students to the event, and we teach people about tax liens and tax deeds for 6 hours. Now, we never stop. We all eat together. If you got pastrami, well, you have to smell all that. We're just eating cheese sandwiches, drinking our coffee. Step by step, we go through this for 6 hours. At the end of the 6 hours, you'll then know what you want to do. And if you don't like it, the worst you spent was $47. So you don't want to spend weeks and weeks. You don't need a college degree, 4 years of college, to do this business. If you can read and you can write, you're off and running. All right, that's all you need. This business was devised not by me. It was devised by basic people that could read and write 200 years ago. It's been around that long. All I did is perfect it so the little guy can learn how to do it. We can show you everything online or offline. You want to do it from Cleveland, you can do it from there. You want to do Portland, Oregon? Great. You want to go to Amarillo? I don't care where you want to. We can teach you from there. And that's what we do. So our students are everywhere. If you want to come to events, we have all that. But start small, grow big.
So Ted, if I come to the introductory course and I like what I hear and I want to pursue it and I begin pursuing it, and my pockets are getting deeper because maybe I've got a little success here. I know you have coaches that can keep perhaps working with me. What can I expect from the coach? I mean, what does it cost to have one of your coaches, and what's the value? What do I get out of that as I get better at this?
Okay, well, let's just talk about value. Forget about cost. What really a cost is a terrible, terrible thing because it's a cost, and that means you could waste it. So we're going to talk about investments. And when I tell people, first of all, who's your coach? You see, most people are getting advice from older people. Some are getting it from younger people. Some are getting it from people who don't like them. They're getting advice from everybody about tax liens and deeds. What do those people know about tax liens and deeds? They might not know anything. So how can you take advice from that? You need to take your advice from the right people. I'll tell you who the right people are. The right people are the people that will make you successful is one person. And that's the person that's done it before you. So we don't have any college professors. We have got people as coaches that do deals. You see, I'm in the business. I do what I'm telling you about. People say, you do? Old guy like you? Yeah, I go look, and I got my shoes dirty on every one of those properties. I walk on that property or I don't buy it. I wouldn't marry the woman if I couldn't look at her, and you shouldn't either. So I go and walk on that property. Well, our coaches have done a deal. So who are you going to learn from? The ivory tower professor with a big, thick book? Going to read your questions in that book? Or the guy that went out there and got his hands dirty in the rain? Because you never get to look at a property unless it's snowing or rain. Every time I go, it's snowing or rain, right? It's a mess. The traffic's a mess. And I have to do this, and I don't want to do it. And I'm right standing there in the rain, taking pictures and putting them on my big iPad. Then I write all over the iPad. The water's coming down my face. But that's who the coaches are. So don't worry about the cost. Worry about who's teaching you. It doesn't matter what the cost is or what the investment, which is a better word, what the investment is if you get the results. You only want to buy results. You don't want to buy anything else.
I want to remind the folks who are watching, if you like this video, and also subscribe to the channel, because we do some other videos. We talk all the time, and there's a lot of great insight. So Ted, let me ask you this, with all your experience, what is the number one rule in real estate investing?
Okay, well, first, anybody that's looking at me needs to know that I'm an investor, and I'm an investor. And I buy tax defaulted property. So the number one thing you want to know about real estate, you already know. And that is, and I'm going to cover this, so give me a second. The number one rule is location, location, location. Okay, anybody tells you different than that, it's because they've got a different opinion and they want to write about it. But if you get a lot of blogs and a lot of people talking about it, they're going to say the number one rule is that you want to have rental property. I'm never going to tell you want a rental property. I can tell you right now, I'm a buy, sell, go to the bank guy. I'm a buy, sell, go to the bank guy. But that number one rule they're talking about is you want to have your rent be 1% of what the rental is. Okay. So if you want to go through that long, convoluted process, I'm not going to go through it. Just go ahead and go and find a blog that's going to tell you about it. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to make money in real estate, number one thing that you have to be thinking about is the location. The number two thing you're going to be thinking about is what I specialize in, and that is I want to buy them right. I want to buy as close to the back taxes as I can get it. All right, so I want to buy 10, 20, 30 cents on the dollar with no mortgage and no deed of trust. So now you've got the number one rule from Ted. The other one has to do with rental property. I'm never going to tell you to rent a property. Why? Because that's going to hold you up, okay? You're going to wait 30 years for someone else to pay for your property. I'm going to show you how to make money. You pay for a whole property in a year and not be waiting 30 years.
If I'm limited my capital, is $10,000 enough to start investing in real estate?
Well, sure, it's enough money, but the challenge is when you get $10,000, how you going to you want to grow it. So I would tell people that have $5,000-$10,000 and just getting started, spend your money on education so that you can see all the different things that you can do in real estate. Or in this case, I'm talking about tax liens and tax defaulted property. There's a lot here, and there's a lot of things you can do. But to think, oh, I'm going to put $10,000 in, and it's suddenly going to be $100,000. I can tell you, I do have clients that start with $10,000, and in a few years' time, I've built them up to $100,000 or $200,000. But that's a long, anguishing, hard process. Now, no matter what you're going to do, this is going to be a process that's going to take time. So the more education you get, it's just like having a knife. If you're trying to cut the bread and it's a dull knife, it's not going to work. So you don't want to be dull. You need to be sharp to be in real estate. The people that make money in real estate are sharp, and that's because they got a good education.
So, Ted, if I'm interested in, I guess maybe more of a passive income, would tax liens be the way to go instead of just like, going in and getting a property and a tax deed and then selling it? Boom, big payday. Tax liens for passive income?
Well, actually, you pretty much figured it out. I mean, I tell my clients that are seniors, the people with the gray hair or no hair like I am. I tell those clients, I think the best thing for you is to do passive investments. So my older clients, I mean, I wouldn't have any hesitation at all telling my grandmother, if she was still here, yeah, go ahead and buy one of those tax liens. You give your money to the government, you get a check back. It's passive. Passive means you're going to sit on your rusty dusty. So you get this piece of paper and you take it home, you put it on the desk, then you just sit there and wait till the people pay you. Well, that's a pretty passive investment. Whereas if you buy real estate is real estate. They have floods, they have storms, they have leaky roofs, they have tenants, there's all kinds of problems. So easy way to do it is be a passive investor. I tell all the older folks, be conservative, be a passive investor.
So, Ted, this one-day workshop, it sounds like a wonderful way to really, get to know you and get to know this business. And if somebody's interested, what do they do? What should they do?
Okay, well, the easiest thing to do is just go right below me and register. You got to let us know who you are. Okay, now the one-day workshop is all day, and we're going to go step by step through the real estate part of it that's really tax defaulted property and tax lien certificates. Now, I've got people talking about tax lien certificates that make more than the regular rates, so you're going to see some real pros. I've got other people you're going to see buy multiple properties every year. Sometimes 2 or 3 properties in a year. Think about how much money they're. Now, I've got other people that'll teach you about financing. So you're going to get a full day in that 6 hours. So this is very intense. You'll definitely need a pen and pencil to make some notes. It's $47. Just go right below me and get yourself registered. I'm Ted Thomas. See you on the next video.